Welcome to the first edition of What's on the Horizon, a video series where we're going to let you in on what's happening with the club, with our organization, chat with directors, staff, coaches, maybe some players. Today, me and Dylan Fiegel, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me.
I am, first of all, just want to say thank you. Dylan is our outgoing DOC, and I am genuinely just very, very thankful, grateful for the work that you have put in. The director works a lot.
Yeah.
A lot of hours, a lot of hard work behind the scenes and on the field, and I respect the way that you have done that over the past few years. So thank you.
Thanks for having me and taking a risk on me coming down here. So
of course. So this was a big year for us. It was our biggest tryouts in club history. We just wrapped that up, and I think as I was reflecting on that, and we talked about this, I don't think that's by chance. The numbers that we saw this year, I think, are a direct reflection of the last 2 years of work as you've implemented some new things for our club and some of the success that we saw on the field. Agree?
Yeah, absolutely. And I think this past year we implemented a game model across all of our teams and age groups, and we saw that work very well. All of our players are using the same language, same vocabulary. That way all of our players also know the basic principles that they need to execute in all 4 moments of the game. And it's been evident in the last 2 weeks when we ran a coaching course here, and all FC Horizon players were the demo players. We had players from our 2014, 2013, 2015 age groups, first, second, third teams. And when the student coaches were asking questions, all of our players were using the same phrases, same words, and that was really cool to see.
Yeah, it's huge. We've talked about this before, but I don't know, it was maybe a month ago, I ran into a family at a coffee shop, and the kid was wearing his jersey, and so I knew they had just finished up a game, and went up and talked with them and was asking them how the game went. And I assumed that I would get the usual, oh, it was great, or it was bad, or we won or we lost, kind of a simple generic answer. But what he said was he went into this whole recap of the game, and he talked about the game plan that the team talked about, that the coach talked about before the game. He talked about their creating their attacking shape. He talked about they did an excellent job creating width and height and building out of the back, and did a good job of breaking some lines. But then he said where we really struggled was in creating chances and finishing the attack. And so he like spouts all this stuff out, and like clearly to me, it proved that the coach was communicating with intention. Like the coach was using this shared language, shared vocabulary, and doing it in a way that the players were actually comprehending and learning, not just guessing at what the coach wants them to do.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it was incredible. And the kicker is that was a third team player.
Okay.
So this is a third team player who's having a positive youth soccer experience, which is incredible. And it also shows that we are developing coaches for all of our teams. So we're not just focused on the number 1 team in the age group, but every team, every player in our club is going to get quality coaching because of that game model, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Our emphasis on player development has led to some really fascinating things at our tryouts this last year. Our 2015 boys green team, they're the number 1 team in the state. They compete regionally. 5 of those players started in our Feet First program. So they've been in this club for close to like 5-6 years now already. And at tryouts this year, we had a player make that team, and they started their career here in our select program, played on the third team, played on the second team, and now they just made that first team.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah.
Well, let's highlight that, because I think that's one of the things that separates our club from others is we are aiming to have a true player development pathway. So we've got the select program, then the premier program, the premier teams, and different levels of those teams. But now, truly, wherever you're at, you can get started, and we have a spot for you. Is that your take on it?
Yeah, absolutely. Our select program's been revamped with Coach Adi coming in, and really emphasizing like just the basic soccer skills you need: ball mastery, first touch, 1v1 skills. So we've seen that happen, and players move from our select to premier teams midway through the year and have success.
Yeah, what he has done with that select program has been incredible. Now we are seeing some of those premier coaches look to the select teams and going, okay, who's the up and coming player? Who has the skills down? Who's ready to compete at the next level? Real quick, I just want to give a shout out to McClarty Daniel, our primary sponsor. They're on the front of all of our jerseys. They are extremely helpful in us being able to operate as a club and continue to grow. So thank you to those guys at McClarty Daniel. So we're also invested in coach education. So talk a little about how we think about that as a club.
Yeah, so my background is in education. I used to be a classroom teacher, and I work for the U.S. Soccer Federation as a coach educator. This is our final weekend of doing grassroots coaching courses in NWA, and all of our coaches at FC Horizon will either have a D license or be eligible to take the D license upcoming this summer. In order to be a good coach, you have to push yourself. You have to go through the licenses. It's as simple as that. You are learning modern pedagogy. All of U.S. Soccer and United Soccer coaches, all of their licenses are backed by research in the educational field.
Yeah. Well, I think it ties into that thing we were talking about earlier of common language and vocabulary. It helps create a system where no matter what team you're playing on, no matter who your coach is in our club, you're going to have a shared language, shared understanding of, not that every team plays exactly the same, because different players require a different style of play sometimes, but it gives us that common language and framework so that players know they can understand the coach that's in front of them.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, we want a player moving from a second team to a first team to be able to understand and use those same languages that the coach has. So it's not going into a totally different environment at the same club. So that's why we want to use all of that.
And I think there's a lot that happens behind the scenes that most families maybe don't know about, right? And so there's the coaches are meeting together, even before tryouts, during tryouts, after tryouts, long late nights where they are meeting together, first team, second team, third team, age group director, talking about players, what they saw. So it is a very intentional process. And I think it all comes down to organization and communication, right? If we are organized, which you helped us do that, a month before tryout started, and then if we're communicating out with the families and with the coaches, I think that's going to be a successful tryout process.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, this year was very frustrating with the rain that occurred, so we had to push our tryouts back 2 days and just adapt and improvise. But yeah, it's about communication and working together. Our coaches, after the end of every tryouts, usually got together that night. We're making phone calls, evaluating players, talking to each other, because all these players are FC Horizon players. They don't belong to a team. They don't belong to a coach. They're all FC Horizon players. So our coaching staff wants to push them. We want to move kids up from second teams to first teams. And like we said, we saw that earlier this year with a kid making our 2015 Green Team who started out in our select program.
Yeah, I mean that's huge, and it speaks to the culture that we're creating, right? That you've helped create, where our coaches are incredible, and they're showing up every day to develop these players, to train them, to educate them. And they're not selfish. We don't have coaches that are hiding players from the first team coach so they don't take them. Some of these things that happen in bigger clubs. And so I just shout out to all of our coaches, because across the board we have people that are ready to dedicate hours and hours and hours to developing and educating players, and they're selfless about it. They're pushing them up when it's time for them to make that next team.
Yeah, I can't brag enough about our coaching staff. I've worked at clubs where we would hide players at tryouts, and it gets very frustrating. But our coaches here at FC Horizon, they care about player development. They care about just players first and foremost, their emotional, social, and physical well-being. And then we can work on the coaching and teaching them how to coach after all that.
As you think about your move and your transition away and reflect on, I'm sure you've done a lot of reflection. Yeah. We've talked some about this, but what are some of the things that you think about? What are some of the highlights? What are some of the things you're proud of that you've seen in our club, work that you've done, or that you've seen the coaches do?
Yeah, I mean, just our teams in general. This past season, more of our teams are going up to Kansas City to play in the Heartland League, and they're playing in the top 3 divisions and doing very well. A lot of our teams have had to play up a year locally just to get that competition, and that's not good for their player development. So we had first, second teams going up to Heartland this past season. Our upcoming season, we're going to have a lot of third teams going up there because they're not getting 8 games of a competition level that they need to develop as a team and to develop as players. Some of the other big highlights, I think, is us securing a long-term outdoor facility here at AAO, and it is probably the best consistent grass playing surface in the area, and that goes along with like our philosophy on players. We want players to be masters of the ball, be able to do 1v1 moves, and you're not going to be able to do that at certain facilities around this area.
Yeah, that is huge. That is part of the youth soccer club challenge, is fields and facilities, right? Yep. And so that's part of what we have to work on behind the scenes, and we ask our families for help and support in that as well. But it's thinking about fields, facilities, where are we going to train? And so, huge shout out to both AAO, and we're sitting in D1.
Yep.
And so big partnerships for us to be able, like you said, to have places where players can train on a consistent surface. So now using AAO, the outdoor field, indoor field at D1, our field at CUMC, this is all part of us striving to make sure that players can train year-round in a good environment. As we wrap this up, I want to again say thank you. We have put in a ton of work together. Yeah. I feel like in a lot of ways we've been through battle together. Yeah. But man, I'm excited for the work we've done. Like some of these things that we're reflecting on, like this is good stuff. Like we are doing good work, obviously supported by our coaches and a really supportive club culture. Our families are bought in. So anyways, I just want to say thank you again for all the work you've put in. Specifically on coach education. That will have a long-term lasting impact on the coaches that you impacted while you were here, and also the soccer community. So yeah, huge props for that. Thank you.
Thank you.
So stay tuned for more of these interviews. We are excited to introduce more of our club leadership, our staff, our coaches, our directors. We want to connect with you. Also, if you have not signed up for soccer, this is your invitation. Join the club, find your squad. We have, like we've talked about, a true player development pathway, and so we can find the appropriate spot for your player to train, to have an incredible youth soccer experience where they're going to get all of those benefits of being part of a team sport, right? Getting to learn about frustration tolerance and character development and conflict resolution and working hard, striving towards really difficult goals and mastering them. That's what a team sport has to offer. That's what soccer has to offer. And so find a spot to get plugged in, reach out to us. We'll see you on the fields.